I want to make sure that is clear, because as a politician, you want to make sure that you state the name that is in the ballot. So yeah, that is my name, and I'm a presidential candidate, independent, and I'm looking forward to wake up on August 9th at the State House. Well, I'll take a step back so that I can say the events leading to that. I was born in a very poor little village in Kitui County. As a little boy, my biggest dreams were those of my grandfather, owning a lot of cows and goats and taking them to the field to show off the numbers myself. A dream of finishing higher education, working in Wall Street, being a university dean, a professor, being an author, and a TV and a radio show host in Washington, D.C. was improbable. Ultimately, running for the president of the Republic of Kenya was a far dream. In the last 5 years, about 5 years ago, after I finished most of my studies, I decided to come to Kenya to discover the needs, the challenges, the dreams, and the aspiration for our people, because I wanted to see how I can pull my weight just as a Kenyan, because I love my country. I wanted to change their lives. Instead, they changed mine. Their dreams became mine, mine became theirs, and challenges merged. We set on a path to change the course of this nation. I had seen enough. The poverty, high taxes, corruption, rampant, run amok. I had seen diaspora not participating in the social events and developing our own people, even after we sent them abroad with the chicken, selling the land, selling the cows and everything else. I thought it is important to be able to give back to the country. So I did not just start a journey and one day wake up and say I want to become a president of the Republic of Kenya. I decided to take needs assessment, which sets me really apart from many candidates, in the sense that I decided to discover for 5 years what is important for Kenyan people. I needed to know, to develop a plan. What can help our people achieve their goals? Because I have a 6-point plan that we'll be talking about, but I developed that plan based on the needs that Kenyans gave me, and to show the intensity and the passion, determination, and everything else. In the last 12 months, I've been in Kenya 10 times. Each time, I pay about 100,000 Kenya shillings for my trip around. So about 1 million Kenya shillings just for fare. Nobody will ever refund it to me. So I'm very passionate about what I want to do and how I want to change the course of this nation, particularly on the youth. 40% unemployment, 80% of that is for youth, and they are the future. So I have very comprehensive, solid plan that I've developed, and I thought the best place to start and change everything is at the presidential level. And why not MCA or anything else? Because I've worked for government, state of New Jersey. I've trained people in state of Nigeria. I have consulted widely globally. I've worked in Wall Street, where actually the whole world comes together. I won awards as a training manager, trying to teach people what needs to be done. And you know what? When I went abroad, I did what I was supposed to do. I have a bachelor's in finance economics, master's in finance economics. I have a PhD from medical school, 5.5 years in health policy and research, specializing in HIV. So I think my wealth of knowledge and experience and education positions me well to be able to change, plus what I found for the people on the ground, to be able to change people's lives at the highest level. I don't have to go change elsewhere and then I come to Kenya and start from zero. No, I have done those. I don't have to be an MCA. Done those. MP level, senator level. I feel strongly I can be the commander-in-chief of this nation and change the course of this nation forever. The state of the environment is dire. I can say that given what I have seen and what I've also read, because I did most of my research in Kenya, we have a lot of problems. First, the mindset, which is beyond what is happening on the ground itself. The mindset of, let's say, littering, because I think that's a big deal, littering, and without, mindlessly throwing garbage, skipping garbage. And that is in combination of the people and also institutions that do it. Instead of placing garbage items in corners or strategic places, you can learn the behaviors of people and also try to position the environment in such a way that it is self-cleaning, because people have the same tendencies. That's why you have things like criminal investigation, because people make the same behavioral repetitions all the time. So we need to be able to change the mindset of littering, deforestation. You cut woods and you don't care what remains, and you really don't understand that there's water catchment and other things. So the state is bad, and you can see even people, places like other areas, they are constructing industry without giving environmental assessment. Environment has been left behind. It's not important as just acquiring the money, and it will be decided later. So I think as a president, I want to be known as an impact, how I make an impact in the environment, because it's connected to how we live. It can determine how our future will look like. Yes, there are many areas, because on the 6-point plan that I have, the first point is to make life affordable and sustainable. We're talking of health, we are talking of shelter, we are talking of we are cutting poverty. And poverty and environment is very connected. I have a plan to make sure that, for example, look at the water table. When people dig water, the water table goes down. But there is no, they keep on taking the water out. In my administration, if you dig a borehole, you will dig another one. There will no longer be one borehole digging. You dig two. One to take water out, one to put clean water, that is runoff water that is going to Indian Ocean, on the ground. We want to make sure that we ban the plastic papers. Many other worlds, we are behind on this because it's dangerous. It's also because of the heat. It produces carcinogens that are very dangerous to us, because it's pollution that we don't see. So we're gonna ban common sense plastics, littering. It's gonna be a thing of the past, because if you're caught littering in the city, you're gonna pay a little fine. There's gonna be a little pain, because this is your country, this is your land, this is your earth. If you don't take care of the earth, then it will not take care of you. And this will be taught, environmental studies will be taught starting from the lower levels, going up. It needs to be part of the value system in our country. I'm very committed to it. I've been in countries where environment is a big deal, United States, and it's connected to everything: poverty, sustainability, health, and everything else. So I'm big on that. Green growth is going to be a very major part or foundation in our construction, in our development. We want to make sure that, I want to make sure that I give specific numbers. For example, if you bring down a building and you want to rebuild it, 30%, at least 30% of the same material that you brought down needs to go back to rebuilding the new building. And all the materials that we are gathering from scrap metal, they need to go back to reconstruct new things. So we want to be able to account the percentages, and we're going to be certifying buildings, platinum, gold, depending on how much we have been able to go green. Also, we want to introduce new kinds of plants that sustain more water, and we can build green environments on top of the building. The kind of designs, the kind of facades, how the reflection. We're no longer in a world where you have buildings enclosed by walls. We need to open them up. Environment is so important, because you can even conserve electricity using outside light. But we are busy, making walls instead of opening walls and making glass facade. What are we doing? The other world is actually using natural lights. So and also making sure there are no offices are open as well, so the outside lights can go all the way inside and you use less electricity. There is so much I can talk almost 9 hours straight, because I'm very passionate about electricity, about the environment, and I have a lot of ideas that I can do. Absolutely. It is the will. It is totally achievable. It is, first of all, it is to make people understand that how important the environment is. How your vision and how you see the world under conservation of environment. I don't think a lot of Kenyans understand, in many African countries, they don't understand how important the environment is. It is the one takes care of us, and it can cut poverty. If you take care of the environment, it's connected to poverty. It will conserve tourism, even where the tourists go, whether they are, destroying things. All those kind of things, they are poverty. If you cut deforestation, you lose water, increases the electricity cost. Mau forests, they cut everything, and the electricity is so high because they had to stop the the hydroelectric power. Now they are looking at coal elsewhere. Now, if you keep that environment in, you didn't have to do that. Water is set in, the water table is high, so you cannot ignore the environment. Even if you try to ignore the environment, then you get sick because pollution will be high. And when the pain exceeds the pleasure, you will change because the environment is real. Yes. Every project plan that we bring into the place, and I'm glad you picked up that one, because I know I'm being known for being a person who released the beast of economic growth. And environmental people get worried when you hear the wheels of mechanisms of economy, they are starting to roll. But there's nothing to worry about that. What I'll do is that I'll make sure the environmental concept where we are producing carbon, we are trying to make sure we account for the carbon that we are putting in the air. Not only it is going to be, even if we introduce new plants for making vehicles, even the vehicles themselves, they need to have inspections to make sure what is put back in the environment, it is a certain percentage of carbon. We want to make sure we release the least amount of carbon levels into the environments, because that's very dangerous for health. If you develop economy uncontrollably, you will have a lot of problems like China. There will be pollution, clouds, and all that kind of stuff. But I am coming in having an environmental index on every project, may it be SGR, and those projects that have been built and environmental concept was not included, it's going to be added. We want to know what we are putting for our environment, how we are hurting our kids, how cancer is coming around, whether it's cold, does it matter? So it's going to be part of the sustainable future, because the cost and the health, you can, in development of economy, you can get the money, grow economy, but you hurt yourself and use that money in treating people, breast cancer and everything else. So it's very important for me to add environmental index in every project, and it has to be at sustainable, international, global level, like what was agreed in Korea, which is the GGI, Global Environmental Institute. So it needs to comply with the standards. So I'm very environmentally sensitive. Well, it is true. The poverty and environment go hand in hand. And it is a matter of, sometimes it's a question of chicken and the egg, who is older. When people are poor, they will go after anything. They will go after environment. They will burn charcoal to gain the money. They will go after poaching elephants, the tusks, to sell them, regardless of what they think about tourism. So you can see poverty is affecting already tourism, because if there are no white elephants, then the tourism go bad. The companies, if they are not making enough money, they will throw waste to the sewer water, or they will let it sink into the dangerous areas where the water can be contaminated, because they are busy trying to make the money. So what we're going to make sure is that we address the issue of poverty. Because I'm going to be known as the job person, to be known as the person who cuts taxes, and it's a person who's going to be, nobody's going to be paid so that they can destroy the economy, the environment. So there's going to be measures in place to make sure that as we grow the economy, we are teaching people values. I'm going to have university students from Nairobi, 21 universities, public universities everywhere. There may be more, or even we invite the private universities. The students are going to go to villages and in the wards. They're going to get credits, for the full credits as a subject for the work they do as internship, training people in our wards, in our villages, the importance of environment. That will not be the only plan. I've just addressed the environment. They will be doing other things. They will be teaching youth about technology. They will be teaching those who are in health, maternal, health and other things. But for environment, there will be students who get full credit for teaching the villagers how to sustain the environment, how to conserve it, because knowledge is, when it's not there, then things can go bad. So knowledge is power. And I believe our people do not know the importance of environment. And the earlier we start doing this, the better. Our students are just busy sitting around in the mess, eating, sleeping, but they need to be developing those skills before they leave school. And therefore, they latch onto the system after they graduate, and they already know what to do. It's already job training, almost free vocational training. Instead of giving them help, they eat some bread and they sleep around. So we're going to be doing a lot of work concerning that, and my government will be committed to even finance it and set aside some money. Areas where the environment is in dangerous position, the poverty is high, it can be zoned, and we talk to CRA, which is Commission of Revenue Allocation, so that we can zone them to get them extra money. There's funds called equalization fund that is set aside on the budgets for those kind of areas where things are strained, and therefore we can save environment. We can zone them. Instead of zoning areas that are actually vulnerable in terms of water and shelter, we're going to have new zoning where environment is at risk. We can use part of the equalization fund, and we get it approved by the Congress, and we can have money to prevent environmental destruction. So I'm pretty committed, I'm determined, and I know environment is real. It causes death, it causes sickness, it causes lack of food, and people can have deviant behaviors against the environment, and that will not happen. It is your earth. If you have to live, you take care of it. Tomorrow is their future, and if they don't take care of what's going to happen tomorrow, they say in African culture, the way you make the bed is the way you sleep in it. So if you do not take care of the environment, therefore you're going to live in an environment that is that dangerous. So the youth needs to start, and that's why I said I will start programs. Since kids are young, they need to be told what environment is, what it means to take care of the environment. They will have small projects where they go out there and take care of the environment, even if it means picking up garbage. I am so sometimes not disoriented, I want to use a better word, stressed out a little bit when I see some garbage. We have Nairobi University students who need to be taught, even volunteer system, where you go to a village or to inner city, low income environment, and you just take a day and you wear the gloves. The government will be, or environmental division, will have those instruments available where they can go and ask for a proposal to get gloves. They go just clear the gravity, they pick up safely the garbage, put them in a nice garbage, and the truck from the city comes. It's just a way of giving back to your community through environmental. There is joy to that. I have done that in different countries, in foreign countries, and you feel you are taking care of your own community. You don't have to go throughout Kenya, but if you put small zones and you say, I gave back to my country by collecting garbage, and also teaching the youth that is around there, even if they are homeless, you cannot throw these things. Please, can you do me a favor? Throw all your garbage in the right place. That will be beautiful. We can build a greater nation, but the value system needs to be put in place. If you just collect garbage and people keep on putting it back, you have no values for it. So we want to develop, we want to clean it up, we want to also develop the value system. We'll have environment in the forefront and making environmentally friendly jobs. That's a job sustainability by itself, and I can tell you we can talk at 10 hours about green jobs of the future. Yes. My fellow Kenyans, tonight it was a great day for me with the environmental group, and I can tell you, when I see young people who are interested in the things that I'm interested in moving this country forward and making it part of the community of nations, pulling our part, we are part of the global village, and therefore we must pull our part, because if one nation does not take care of it, it does not help in the world. In my administration, I am committed to make sure an environment is a big part of our government. And I can tell you, if you give me the opportunity to be your commander-in-chief, I can promise I will be taking care of you, I will take care of the environment. Together, we're going to make this country a real difference, because you have not seen the best of Kenya yet. Or we'll make the country a shining city on the hill, a beacon of hope, and a gateway to Africa. So thank you so much. May God bless you. May God bless this nation, the great Republic of Kenya.